Hi everyone, welcome back to another video of this course. In this video, we're going to be talking about the layers panel. Knowing that how you could use the layers panel properly is so important. It may seem easy to use, however, sometimes it gets a little bit tricky in terms of reordering your layers and your objects, okay? So let's dive into this part and I'm going to show you how you could use it efficiently. So as you can see, you have the layers list on your left. And here you could see all your layers, all your groups, and also all your frames. Whenever you create a new shape or a new object, it goes to the top of this layers list, okay? So let's try it out. I'm gonna create a rectangle here. As you can see, I have rectangle 1. And for renaming this rectangle, I'm gonna double click on that and let's call it R1, okay? Then I'm gonna create another shape. Let's create a circle. Pretty good. I'm gonna change the color in order to make it more visible. Pretty awesome. And I'm gonna call it C1, okay? As you can see, C1 has been placed to the top of this layers list, okay? And it appears to the front of your canvas. So this is the reason that this circle is visible here. If I move this layer below R1, it's not visible anymore. However, you could still change its properties, like its color or its size. And if I move it back to its previous position, you can see that it's visible again. So ordering your layers is so important. Now suppose that we are going to group our layers. Let's select these two shapes and hold Command G. And as you can see, we just created group 1. And whenever you want to see the layers included in this group, you can use this small arrow next to this icon, which indicates that this is a group, okay? I'm gonna click on that and there we go. For selecting a layer, you can easily click on that, okay? And as you can see, a light blue box appears in order to show that this layer has been selected. If you go to menu and go to preferences, you can see that you have different options here. One of them is highlight layers on hover. What does that mean? It means that if you hover your mouse on top of each layer, like for example C1, you can see on the canvas that a blue line will appear in order to show that this is your desired layer, okay? So I'm gonna select that, and if you wanna ungroup these layers, you can easily click on this group name and then right click here and you can click on ungroup like that. I'm gonna use Command Z or Control Z in Windows. All right. So now what if you want to hide some layers? It's so simple. Suppose that we are going to hide this circle, which is called C1. In order to do that, first of all, we need to hover on that specific layer like this, and then an eye icon appears immediately next to this padlock. So I'm gonna click on this eye icon and you can easily toggle this layer off and on like this. You can also lock each layer by clicking on this padlock in order to prevent your layer from accidental edit. So when you lock your layer, you cannot move your layer, you cannot interact with your layer. However, you can still change its properties. So let's try it out. I'm gonna try to move this layer a little bit. And as you can see, because it has been locked, I cannot move it, okay? So its position is fixed. And you can use this technique for locking your backgrounds. Sometimes it may be useful. However, now let's try to change some of its properties. For instance, I'm gonna change its color. And as you can see, I can still get access to its properties, although it has been locked. And in order to unlock that, you can again click on this padlock. And there we go. It's unlocked. You can recognize the type of each layer on your layers list based on the icon next to its name. As you can see on the picture, we have frame, we have groups, we have components that we will talk about in the future lessons, we have instances, we have text object, we have shape, image, and animated GIF, okay? So now let's talk about the positioning of your layers once again, because I'm going to show you how you can reorder the positioning of your layers right on the canvas. Suppose that you wanna bring this square, or let's say rectangle, to the front, okay? In order to do that, of course, you can go to layers list and move it like this, and it's done. However, there is an alternative for that. You can easily right click on that on canvas and you can choose bring to front. There we go. If you're familiar with Adobe Illustrator, you know that you could use the same functionality in that software as well. Now let's go to the assets section. Here, as you can see, because we haven't created any components yet, we can't see any components here. Basically, components are parts of your design that you can reuse. Okay, we will talk about it later and we will dive into components in the future lessons. We have another option here which is called pages, and right at the top, as you can see here, we have page 1, and if I click on that, you can see that I have pages. It's called page 1. You can rename that. I'm gonna change it to website. You can duplicate that if you just right click on that layer. As you can see, you can add a new page to this page list like this. You can call it page 2. And the good news is that there is no limit for creating pages. So you are free to create as many pages as you want. For instance, you could separate some parts of your design in order to make it clear when you're working in a team, or if you want to create different prototypes, it's a good idea to have different pages as well. So I'm gonna go to website, and that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.